we want nothing to do with the backwards looking idea of sovereignty. This is Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Green Party. Yet again, this must be the 195th time they've just kind of handed the European Union, our country's sovereignty, to the European Union, just on a plate, just on a nice plate, no arguments about it, just here you are, European Union, take over. We were under the British for hundreds of years, we're just going to give it to the European Union now. We fought so hard for independence and we're just going to fuck it now into the lake and give it to the European Union. They can control what we do and what we say in Ireland. That's what basically they've done, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Green Party. Now, in fairness to the opposition, Sinn Féin, I'll talk about it in a second, but it wasn't much in the difference, 6 votes in the difference, 73 against and 79 for. And in fairness, the left, Sinn Féin usually they don't want borders at all. Sinn Féin, that's why they've got defeated in the last local town in Europe. They don't agree to borders at all. They don't want anything. They want uncontrolled, just people turning up in every 10 minutes of the day. But at least in fairness, Sinn Féin did vote against it because it doesn't benefit the left too, and it doesn't benefit the right. It benefits nobody. The only thing people who benefits is Ursula von der Leyen, the European Union, the World Economic Forum. That's the only thing it benefits. They're the only people that benefit. It doesn't benefit any part of Irish society. It doesn't benefit the left. It doesn't benefit the right. It doesn't benefit anybody. It just benefits global elites, other people in high places that you're not supposed to mention. But many of them, it only benefits the global agenda, basically, what's happening. And it doesn't benefit because obviously it's nothing. It doesn't give. It just brings 100,000 people in every 10 minutes of the day, basically. But so it was interesting because again, the left didn't agree with, the right didn't agree with, nobody agreed with. The only people who nodded their head without asking questions is Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. Because to be totally honest, some of the Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael TDs, and again, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael should be ashamed of themselves. Any member of Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, you should be ashamed of yourselves for still being a part of a party. And even the TDs there, senators, you should be ashamed of yourselves for still being in Fianna Fáil and for voting. Without question, not even without standing up and saying I won't vote. I wouldn't mind if one of them did it, but none of them were willing to stand up and be counted because they're too afraid of losing the seat. It's all about money and power, as Matty McGrath said. He hit the nail on the head. They're too busy worried about what money they're getting from a certain high individual from Hungary. That's the only thing they're too worried about. They're worried about that money coming in on the side. They don't want to lose that money if they stand up and be counted. They don't want that. They rather they sold the country out for money and power, not to benefit the Irish people. And not even that they sold it away, they've given it away on a plate. Just on the plate to the no arguments at all. As we see in Denmark, we had an option. It should have been, if it was ever going to be implemented, it should have been a referendum. Again, at least the Irish people could have a say. As the fact of the matter is, loads of people wrote into their TDs, sent emails to Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, telling them what to do. Because at the end of the day, it's not me, Martin or Leo Varadkar that's supposed to tell TDs how to vote. It's the public. It's the people who vote them into Dáil and Shannon, not public vote, but at the end of the day, they're supposed to represent the constituents, the people of Ireland, the people of the nation. But again, that was all thrown out the window. They didn't give a shit what people thought. Just so they basically handed the European Union more control. And this is going to have a huge effect on the country. We basically could be swarmed with people now after this is implemented. And not to mention it's unconstitutional. It's against the Lisbon Treaty. And probably against the Irish Constitution too. But again, the courts don't care because they're just Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. They always just take up for them. If you didn't pay your TV licence now, they would have an issue with that. But apart from that, anything else, don't give a shit. As long as it benefits Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the World Economic Forum, of course, then they're not going to give a shit. Irish sovereignty, we want nothing to do with it. Because that's basically just the narrative of what Micheál Martin said. And it's the same with Fianna Fáil. Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil one and the same with the Green Party. They're just one and the same at this point. And Sinn Féin is not much better than them, to be totally honest. But in fairness, they did vote against it, so you give them something, I suppose. A bit of credit where credit's due, because if Sinn Féin voted with it, then there's not much hope. But maybe Sinn Féin might cop on a bit with the recent election, but not likely. Because again, they don't agree with borders. But it's insane that we fought for 800 years at the British and just handing out to the Brussels unelected bureaucrats in Brussels. We're just handing them the key to the country. You can do whatever you want, but we can send in hundreds of thousands of people from Timbuktu, no documents, etc. Just fire them into the country, and if we don't take them, we'll find hundreds of thousands of euro, if not millions. Because again, we won't have any say on how many people come into the country. Basically, the floodgates will be open. No such thing as, again, the European Union is in control, not the Irish government or the Irish people. They won't be in control of their own borders. Would you believe that? We're just handing it to another country. That even anywhere here. It's good thousands of miles away from here, Brussels. We just basically handed it to them and said, you control our borders. It's the most stupidest thing imaginable. And that we just willingly, they just willingly give it up. And the Irish people don't want it. If you ask the Irish public, if they went to the public, they would have got the Radso. That's what they didn't want to go to it, because they would have got the Radso very, very, probably 95% would have said no. And that is the same. The last two referendums, they got hammered back into the next century, and they're not willing to have another referendum because people are not really going to listen to much bullshit from them, because people can see what's happening, that we're just being controlled by unelected bureaucrats, by the European Union. We're just being controlled. And when we joined the European Union originally, back in the day, it was all about common travel area, common trade area, common currency. Nowadays, we're being dictated to by Brussels what to do and how to do it, and how high to jump. We've been dictated to, and it's turned into a dictatorship. And to be totally honest, we should seek to leave the European Union now within the next 10 years, to be totally honest. I know that's a hard thing to say. Loads of people say about finance and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is not being controlled by another country. 4,800 years to be free from the British, and we've just handed it now to Brussels, to the European Union. We replaced one country with another country. We shouldn't do that, and our grandfathers would be ashamed of us for just handing everything. You see, fishing rights, etc. Just handed it. We literally on a plate to the European Union. Here you are. Basically, not even sold it the way, you just basically handed it to them. You give it everything to them, and it's going to keep continuing. We'll just be handing and stuff to, there's nothing really left much more to handle to Brussels, etc. We basically sold our souls to a foreign country and to a foreign empire, the European Union, at this stage, because it is an empire. But I'm just saying, it's a whole disgrace that we have gone this low. We are willing to sell our country, not even sell the country, just give it away, basically. And it's not right, and we totally honest. I say to any Fianna Gael person that's a member of Fianna Fáil, or not even the TD or anything, but I would say to you to leave now, Fianna Gael, to leave it, and say to them to fuck with Jews, and go and be an independent, or go and join another party that values Irish sovereignty. Because again, it is something that's we should be willing to stand up and say that we're willing to defend our sovereignty as a free, independent country. Again, that's what every country should be: free and independent, not controlled by another empire in Brussels. That's the way it should be. But again, modern day Ireland, so we don't want a backwards looking idea of sovereignty, as Micheál Martin famously said, which I'm sure you can tell I don't agree with that statement of the Taoiseach. And again, just imagine he's the Taoiseach, and he's supposed to be saying we defend Ireland, etc. But we're fully committed to the ideas of the European Union, etc. So just follow them blindly. We can't just follow the leader. We have to have our own brains. We have to have our own thoughts, our own feelings. We can't just follow the leader and expect the leaders to lead us down the garden path to victory. Because when you give unrestricted power to people who are unelected, they're going to lead us down astray. And again, there's some sinister forces in the world that have influence. That's the sad reality of the world now. Thank you.